Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of your favorite podcast, Point Forward. I'm Andre Iguodala, my main man, Evan Turner. But before we get started, follow us on all platforms at Point Forward. How many MVPs LeBron got? 4?
4. They cut him off 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah. They cut him off for sure.
You know what I mean?
This might be Jokic's last one. We could talk about it.
We can talk about it. I mean, you think this might be Jokic's last one? I mean,
because I'm saying this might be Jokic's last one in the similar vein as people are saying this is Gobert's last one.
I believe it. Bro, I'm entire watch that nigga win DPOY too, G, because I don't understand it.
Yeah, we ain't gotta talk about it because man, none of it.
Nah, but to me, I'm like, it looked like a lemon, but I guess it come back with POY. So, all right, man. But let's dive in, man. Today, obviously this week we heard some news. Glen Davis, aka Big Baby Davis, former NBA champion, former LSU Tiger.
It's very interesting. I don't want to phrase it or package it and communicate it as if somebody's getting left off the hook. Essentially, you have a medical benefits account that accrues over the years of service in the league. So each year, money goes into it for like your post-career, and anyone that you file on your taxes can benefit from this. So it's whether you go to the doctor, dentist, therapy, anything to that nature, mental health therapist, anything in that nature that your insurance may not cover, this account will pay for it. And, the guys, they submitted the claims in a manner where it wasn't done in a faithful manner, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
And, some guys got lesser penalty than other guys, depending on, who the judge was. And we all have to pay the price for our actions, whatever they may be. I'm all fine with that. My issue is we had one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And I'm not making this a black or white thing, which everyone's going to say I'm making this a black or white thing. But I think Glen Davis got 40 months for $80,000. And essentially, he schemed the money out of his own account.
Yeah.
So you can take that. You can take that however you want it. He schemed money out of his own account.
It's like trading places. Like you stealing from yourself, fool. Like that type. Yeah.
But we had one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks of all time, down south. That Bible Belt, which I'm very afraid of. I don't frequent down there too much. I get to Georgia a little bit. I get to Georgia a little bit. Yeah. Yes. The crooked eye, all that.
Yeah.
And there was a $700,000 fraud that was taken away from the welfare system. And there has been no penalty and no consequences. And I heard something today that was funny. Someone defined snitching. And I never quite heard it like this. And I'm thinking of it because it feels like that based on how we define the word snitch. But he said, snitching is if you do a crime with someone and you tell them to get lesser time. That's snitching. Now, telling on somebody is, I'm in the car and my friend has something illegal on him. We get pulled over and the police says, well, whose is this? And the friend who owns it says nothing. And I'm going to work at my job because I have no parts of this activities. Yeah. And I say, that's his. Yeah. That ain't snitching. And so I'm saying all that to say, I'm just trying to figure out, I want to make sense of it, period.
Yeah.
In terms of one versus the other, I just want, what do we talk about? Equality.
Yeah, equality. Especially in the country. I mean, I'm reading this James McBride book, and he's saying we have such harsh penalties, or you even sometimes look at the Reggie Bush situation, where one mistake kind of throws off and deteriorates everything about like a certain individual. And he said we're living in a country where white men rewrite their sin and forgive their sin every single day. So like when it comes down to and you look at certain situations where it's like, damn, we're throwing a book at them. Like, I'm not saying like it's like, of course it's wrong, but when you sit still and it's like it's 40 months, it's the same way a kid could get a fake rape charge and be in jail for 6 years, his whole future's gone. But then a
Yeah.
little swimming motherfucker from Stanford, the rape
Mm-hmm.
case tested positive and everything. They gave him 6 months of what, probation, because he said jail would be too
Community
harsh.
service. Community
Community service.
service.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, bruh, what life are we expecting? Especially in the sense of, Glen Baby Davis, where it's not like you just sit at the crib, sitting on his ass. He career changed and moved on and was building a new way, paving a new way in, other situations. A wrong is a wrong. Don't get caught where you at. I'm sticking up for my brother and be like, man, damn, he's about to be going for 3.5 years. On
Yep.
some recycle. And I'm talking about, like, is it real jail? It ain't cupcake jail like Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, and it's
You know what I mean? Like,
I
shit.
yeah, it's just interesting. I applaud him for his spirits. You know, he has a video, and I did want to mention this. I saw Vince Staples said something that really has been resonating with me lately. The last couple of weeks, I just think about it almost daily, where Vince Staples was saying, you know, all other cultures, you know, they protect their culture in terms of the content that represents the culture. He said,
Yeah.
all of our content that represents our culture that we monetize or that other people monetize is based on our traumas and our pain.
Yeah.
And I thought about that like, whoa, you know, like name one of our movies or, you know, our artists. You know, you look at Basquiat, you know, you look at some of our most famous artists and what it represents. You know, some of
James
our
Brown.
music,
Like, yeah.
right? And we look at, you know, our music, you know, some of our favorite music or rap music in general and what's glorified there. Even how, you know, we enjoyed the rap battle of our culture, but how others monetize it and how others, you know, it's like The Pimp a Butterfly. That's why it's my favorite album. And how it's just all about our traumas. And so as I'm reading an article on ESPN and just how is the pictures painted and Jalen Rose speaks to it all the time. You know, football and basketball were the only two sports where marijuana was always like right next to the conversation. But I know the drug policy in the NHL. I know the drug policy in the NHL, and
Man.
it's been accepted for essentially decades, and we've
Yeah.
never heard anything come from that. But when it comes to us,
Oh
it's
no.
like we're potheads.
Oh no. Or not only that, we can't even fight. If it comes down to like baseball or hockey, boys will be boys, and it's part of the game, and they show it. It comes to us. We're touching every other player, whatever it is. We're getting labeled as thugs. We're getting thrown out, fined, suspended for 6 or 7 years. 6 or 7 games, which is a bajillion dollars. We can sit down, get into it in the parking lot, say boys will be boys now. Phoenix police is coming to arrest one of our people under a fraternity matter. Like, you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like sometimes when you break it down, what I'm going through right now too, I joke around and I'm like, man, sometimes athlete's just another word for nigga, which allows you to do what? Treat them how the system sets up to do so. And it shows time and time again. And you don't want to feel that way, but it's just the truth. I'm going through stuff right now where I'm just so numb to it. I'm like, I'm getting prepped to go to court and be like, nah, this is part of the game, G. Like, when I was a kid and I saw all this, the
Yeah.
movies told me this was about to come.
Yeah.
The TV told me that this was about to come. Like, it's not nothing crazy. I done said 10, 11 times what I meant. Like, you know what I mean?
True
But
story.
shit, it's no different. You gotta try extra hard. We're not saying this to try to defend Big Baby Davis or make it seem crazy. The proof is in the pudding 100 million times, my nigga.
It's almost as if we're prepping for the downfall.
Yeah, man. Throw your shoulder into it.
Exactly. And I mean, what's helped me a lot, I will say this, is going to therapy. I found a therapist, African American woman, that's just been incredible to me, and I can just like speak it. And that's what I've been really talking about. It's just like, as an African American, when you have impact on your people, you have to always think the most impactful of our times, you know, throughout our historical history, have been taken out in some form or fashion. And so I'm not calling myself any of them or trying to measure myself with any of them, but it feels like those who have impact, there's always been a way to figure out how to take them out. And that's whether through public perception or just life in general.
Yeah.
But shout out to Big Baby. We hope you do well. We hope you continue to heal. I mean, his spirits seemed like they were up. He was joking about, going to jail. He won't be eating burgers and Cheetos. And he said, I'm going to get in shape. He's like, I'm about to get in shape. And so, just I appreciate that about him. The way he's thinking about it and processing it, and hoping he, gets everything he needs, and we can be able to support him when he comes back home.
Yeah, I think like the last thing to really say on this topic sometimes too is like we say Big Baby, we know who he is, his reputation and stuff. I think even the older and older I get, not letting your foot up on the gas, but like watching what you do, how you carry yourself, and like one of my favorite lines is like, respect who you are, or they'll take it from you.
Yes.
So like when we sit in here and we talking about whatever, it's like Big Baby's always gonna be who I recognize him as, but it's like, damn, you run it up for 37 years, do what you need to do. It's like, nah, keep that consistency and excellence for 50 or 55 years or however it is. So like, they don't play with your name or fuck up your, you know what I mean? Fuck up your name because, right now, all they're going to start screaming is ex-con more so than the lives he touched, the individuals he helped, and the impact he lasted and or made. And I feel as though, as young black athletes and individuals and role models, you have to really, like I said, keep your foot on the gas and fight for that even when the lights aren't always on.
100%. Well said.
Point. Forward.
On a lighter note, I kind of see the two, similar in terms of their personalities. And I know you're a big UFC fan. And when I saw this news, I thought it was pretty cool. I watched WWE growing up. I haven't watched it in quite some times. Shout out to my man, Sri Ram. Super dope cat. He's over at Andreessen Horowitz right now. He's got a bunch of folks that we speak with. It's like kind of like a group chat. It's super dope, and we have some professional wrestlers in there, and they were talking about WrestleMania, then how they've been going global. I've been looking at Entourage, one of our favorite shows growing up, and looking at Endeavor, Ari Emanuel, Patrick Weitzel, the Endeavor crew. They went out and acquired the UFC. They went and acquired TKO. They went and acquired WWE, and it's just like they're building their conglomerate. And you watch UFC and seeing Derrick Lewis. Derrick Lewis has a lot of memeable moments. My balls was hot. Was one of the famous ones. And just telling the truth, being straightforward in how he feels. He's been in talks. It's a surprising revelation about being in contract talks with the WWE. And with all his accomplishments, and I see the parallels with Big Baby and being able to transition from one thing to another with how your brand is being built. And I feel like he has a perfect brand and what he's going to do with WWE. I think it's super dope. I think he's going to have a big impression, and I think he'll fit right in. And I was glad you brought this up.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think one thing that occurs, I feel like with the UFC fighters, they have such a tough life, and anytime you get this kind of WWE crossover, it's kind of like you ride off into the sunset. No, Don't kill me, WWE fans. Like, it's not real. I know it's real, but it's not the same as getting hit by like 275-pound black belt. You know what I mean? And I think one thing that Derrick Lewis is really great in, not so much even just you look at the headline he's about to have in St. Louis. He doesn't want to be the headline. He said it numerous times, but he's such a crowd favorite, a fan favorite, that people are going to pull up, and you can sell a pay-per-view with his face attached to it. And I think not only on the side of him being able to be marketable, but shout out to WWE for opening up that market. Kind of crossing over and giving these athletes who have battled and going through the hurt business another outlet to continue to be on a platform to keep making money, earn money, and ride off into the sunset. Sometimes they're not in that top 3 or 4 in that division. Sometimes those fights aren't going to pay the same as they will, doing the WWE and that notoriety and that legacy as well.
No, for sure. We saw Ronda Rousey go over there and have success. We saw the opposite too. Brock Lesnar going from WWE to the UFC.
No, for sure. Now, obviously, you can't really say Logan Paul, but Logan Paul was over there. It's still the same thing, but you see all the success Ronda Rousey had, and you see like the excitement that that she had. But once again, if you're negotiating right, and these guys are about the paper, you get some pay-per-view stuff, and you negotiate those points.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great partnership. So I'm hyped for Derrick Lewis, and obviously the Black Beast. You know what I mean? That's his nickname. I think he'll definitely turn up.
Point. Forward.
This is something you and I would do if we had the opportunity. The other day, Chicago Sky rookie, forward superstar. She got a little bit of flack for, flying out and attending the Met Gala.
She got flack for that?
She got flocked for that because she had a game the next day, apparently. Next day, she had 13 points, 5 assists. She performed and put on. But I still thought, but that's what I said. I said, you got to do it. You have to do it, bro. You have
Yeah,
to do it.
I'm saying. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I almost wanted to applaud her because I'm like, man, she got to lock into a new team, a new year. And then, but at the same time, whether we think so or not, it's her responsibility to continue to push the game forward and jump on that flight. It's not like this is her own self-promotion thing. It's like, no, this is for the WNBA.
Yes.
This is like the new marketing way of the WNBA. Like, no, we about to come here and take some of these cover girl ads and everything, bro. She looked
Yeah.
amazing. Not
Yeah.
only did she kill the next day, I was like, damn, Angel, like,
You got to do that.
you went crazy up here. Like, good for you. Like, and she came back, performed like a real like professional the next day. And I was like, to do that as a rookie, you know how much your mind is going all over the place, the confidence she has, bro. It's a real dog in there.
Yeah, I saw. I'm a big golf fan, so I saw Nelly Corda there, and I was like, "Whoa, that's a big moment for the
Yeah.
women's golf." It's like, just look at the beautiful gowns that they showed up in, and those groups never really having presence at that
Yeah.
type of fashion moment, and
Like
not,
world event, global event, like shit.
yeah, it's like I'm really confused at a lot of the flock that Angel gets, but it's celebrated in other places. And all of these ladies are raising their game, the entire game, to another level of notoriety. I mean, they had someone that streamed the game, and they got like 2 million plus
Yeah.
views. And then now it's like now they got I think Caitlin's first game would be on Disney Plus, which is one of the first live sport events on Disney Plus platform, period.
Yeah, shout out to Caitlin Clark. I mean, shit, she getting so much problem. I'm getting tired of seeing her ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, shout out Caitlin Clark. I seen her mama and daddy. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like,
but that's what I'm surprised at.
Yeah,
Like, how can they have flock on Angel? And it's like we all saying grow the game. It's like that's something you have to do. It's almost like, listen, push the game back. Like if we start having these moments, make sure that there are no games at this Met Gala event, so we can really represent and grow the game and represent like these beautiful women and what they're about. Like that's just crazy to me. I didn't know that there was any flack coming from that.
Yeah, but I think life is about angles, and I guess like the one thing that occurs is if you pub up the negativity following it or surrounding it much more than like the positive part. Like we said, Angel showed up, she led with grace. She did her thing. She looked amazing. She put on for the WNBA. And then once again, it proved that it wasn't too much for her because she came right back out the next night and had a hell of a performance. Yeah. So I thought like this whole week, and even just an advertisement, what they're doing for the WNBA, man, it's been a hell. It's been a hell of like shit. 7 months, 8 months of just like overflowing, and you can really feel the culture shifting. And I think you can really watch everybody completing their assignment on that side. So
for sure,
good for them.
Well said.
Point forward.
All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Money Moves, powered by ARK Invest, along with the Point Forward crew. Kicking things off by talking about the basics of investing, and we start off with the first question. What is investing and why is it essential? Simple explanation of what investing is and the fundamental reasons for investing. Evan, give us some expertise if you would like.
I mean, well, shoot, the primary goal of investment is kind of just, having your money work for you. So clearly everybody talks about having more than, one stream of income. So maybe taking, your Air Force One money and putting that to the side for a long time, or like, you know what I mean?
That's
or
real.
In this case, no, in a bigger situation, probably trying to finesse and invest with your 401k early on as opposed to, waiting. So I felt like that's one of the best examples I can really give in that sense. What would you say in regards to investing and why it's important to do it early and often?
Investing, defined through the dictionary, is investing is the act of allocating resources, usually money, with the expectation of generating an income or a profit. This could be through purchasing stocks, bonds, real estate, or other assets. Why invest? Your experts, quote unquote, would say the primary goal is putting your money to work in one or more types of investment vehicles in the hopes of growing your money over time. So everything you said, so whether it's stocks, It's like buying shares. And we spoke about this before, buying shares in a sports drink company. And then as the company grows and becomes more successful, your shares become more valuable, meaning your initial investment has grown. And a lot of people talk about how do we beat inflation?
Yeah.
Like, how do you beat inflation? First of all, let me define inflation for everybody, because inflation is a bit tricky. Because I see inflation and it's like supply, demand. When there's low demand, then the price comes down, and that's based on supply too. So if you got a lot of something and you can give it to everybody, you might have a surplus. The price goes down. So there's always that finesse fest, as I've coined that phrase from Evan Turner. You see some sectors where they don't make enough on purpose. You see that a lot in pharmaceuticals, where they don't make enough of a medicine so they can keep the prices high, supply demand, and then
It's either make addictive medicine or don't make enough. You know what I mean? None in between. No, just joking.
inflation is a general increase in prices and fall in the purchasing value of money. Doesn't give you a really good explanation, so I'll go further. Inflation is the rate of increase in prices over a given period of time. Inflation is typically a broad measure, such as the overall increase in prices or the increase in the cost of living in a country. And so, yes, cost of living plays a lot into inflation as well. It can be a plethora of things. You can look at commodities like whether it's wheat or copper or corn or oil.
Limes a couple years ago, them bad boys jumped up to the point where they was at bars like, you sure you need a lime? Like, yeah, bro, for $48 a beer, give me my fucking lime. I don't care about the cartel. Bring me my shit. You know?
Yeah. So when inflation is low, that means it's cheaper to buy money. And so you look at interest rates, meaning how much money are they going to charge you to borrow money. When inflation is low, then you can get better rates when you borrow. And so,
Because people forget that money's energy. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's some type of currency, but
say that one more time. I like that.
yeah, money's energy. So at a certain point, it can either go up or down depending on what you do with that. And when with anything, it don't stay the same. So how work with it is, what comes back. So that's why investing is so important, because that energy can really drive you up and push you forward to new avenues and, new vehicles to keep doing compound investing, you know what I mean? And buying that block up. You feel me?
Perfectly put. And so, with inflation, money loses value over time due to inflation, meaning that what you can buy with $100 this year might cost you $105 next year. And that's how you see prices. Because I remember 99-cent bags of Twizzlers when I was growing up are now like $4.99, which is insane.
Man, that's just fucking. Don't even get me going, G, because what you could buy with a quarter back in the day, G, to now it's just like, come on, G. Like, I stopped eating candy, like, for real, off the principle. I'm like, bro, I'm not like, this is what this shit costs. And then you gotta double that up with, like, going to the dentist and shit. I'm like, bro, you like, you want
Double that up by going to the dentist.
to
That's
the
a bar.
dentist. It's like, come on, G. I didn't realize when you sit down like this little Snickers pause that was this big is $2. Yeah, I'm straight, G. I could do something else with my shit. You can't have that in like.
But
You know what I mean?
this is the point of investing. Investing helps grow your money to outpace inflation, maintaining or increasing your purchasing power. And so there's your offset. And this is why a lot of people, should pay more attention to investing, because it can help you with things like inflation. And so even building upon that, securing your financial future. Investing is essential for building wealth and securing a financial future, helping you achieve financial goals such as buying a house, starting a business, or ensuring a comfortable retirement. And so when we talk about entire retirement, the real life examples of it, we went through this a lot. NBA has the NBA supposedly has the best retirement plan, 401k plan in the universe.
They match you like what, 120% or some shit?
They match you 100. Is it 120 or 125%? I think it's 120%.
125. And I used to throw that little, you know what I mean? Every year, take that out my check ASAP, big dog. I'll see you at 60.
And so everyone loves hearing, the trauma. Shout out to Vince Staples. He said most African Americans, our stories and our content are based on trauma. So here's a traumatic experience for those that are always capitalizing off our trauma. You had your handful of guys that opted out of their 401k match. And I could not, for the life of me, understand why.
And that was at one point where I was just like, man, I remember being in the locker room and hearing a nigga talk about like, I could take this money and do it. I'm like, bro, niggas, man, you niggas, y'all don't appreciate shit, man. Like, I remember sitting here and be like, y'all don't appreciate a motherfucking thing, G. Like this is on the Sixers. So I'm like, you non-guaranteed niggas can't tell me shit. I'm sticking with the union, okay? like, you know what I'm saying? But when you sit, dude, man, say what you want about me, baby. That thing ain't getting paused, ain't getting touched till 60. All right?
No, 55 and a half. You can go get it. No
Whatever the fuck it is. I said 60 because that's how hard I'm trying to go.
It's actually smarter. It's smarter to take it out at 60. Way smarter.
That's what I'm saying. But like, nah, that y'all did. You did that, didn't you?
No, that's been in place. That's in conjunction with the NBA. I was a part of the group that did the benefits of healthcare, where we take 1% of BR, 1% of BRI goes to retired players of healthcare and benefits, so they can all be taken care of.
Man, shout out! That was amazing, G. That was so amazing. So that's big time. But yeah, like we said, like you take something out, you invest in that 401k like you're supposed to, Brian. Like you said, when it comes down to it, it's two different things when you do investment. And I think sometimes, to reference some of my teammates when they're like, well, I could take this bread and do this and a third with it. Like investing isn't like a get rich quick scheme. You know what I mean? Investing is something you put to the side.
What they call it? Time Lord? What's it? Time Lord?
Something like that. But that's what you do with that. And when it comes down to investing your 401k, when we took full advantage of that, that's I think I was 22, 23 when I started doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We could check it out at 55 and hopefully that's a nice nest egg to, you know what I mean? Buy me some, shit, man, buy me another 10 years of litness.
Now, I've seen a lot of guys. We can have this. We might. I don't know if we can have this episode where what happens financially through divorce, because I see a lot of guys in their pensions.
Oh, they get your bro. That's not right, G.
Yeah, I don't think they get the 401k, but we can have, if we can have that real conversation.
I would love to have that real conversation. I need to know. You and I had a private conversation like 10 years ago. And when we had that, I'm like, oh, that's what happens? Oh, okay, say less. I ain't getting married to I had no clue, but that's a real conversation to have, because till you told me that, my dumb ass would have jumped the broom 8 times. straight up.
Yeah. It'd be like that. So, and then, we're talking about time more than anything, but I'll dive further into that. We'll get into it one day, but it's basically, it's a huge difference with someone starting their 401k at age 25 versus someone who starts at 35. Like the person at 35, it's almost impossible to catch up unless you just take in all your savings and just dump it in retirement, which most people can't. So even when you start with $100 or $50 at 25, you like at a tens of thousands of dollar head start in just in that 10 years, and it's going to continue to grow. And obviously that difference, compound interest wise, is going to take you into another stratosphere as well. And so that's all about, how comfortable you want to live and live in the same lifestyle when you do actually decide to retire. Because like we've been saying, you're beating inflation, your money's growing, compound interest, ninth wonder in the world by Warren Buffett, eighth, ninth, however many wonders there are in the world, and just setting you up for success. And then there's also diversification of your income sources. So just like a basketball team relies on different players to win the game, having multiple investments can help stabilize your income and reduce risk as well, even if one investment doesn't perform as well as the others. And so, E.T., you spoke on that.
And I was wondering, I heard one thing that was pretty cool back in the day. Some old head told me, he's like, if you could, you tell me if this is wrong or not. He's like, buy your retirement home first. And they say it don't have to be crazy or anything, but by the time you get done with your hustle and bustle, hopefully in 20 or whatever years, that joint is double, tripled, or whatever it made. And then from there, you finesse and get what you want. You know what I mean?
Now, looking back, that sounds like an amazing idea.
Isn't that crazy? Really, it said buy it cheap. It said by the time you get done in like 22, 23, By the time you start 22, 23, say NBA wise or whatever it is, it's like by 40 or 50, like you got something you didn't even think about. You bought in early, ISRs, a 15, 20-year tax abatement, perks, all this shit. And then pretty soon you're just like, bro, that was 150 liquid, then I paid, you know what I mean, mortgage. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, right?
Imagine we went in and bought a house in Baldwin Hills or somewhere around Inglewood 15 years ago. And now they see the stadium going up there, gentrification.
Bro, West Loop over here, when we went for that walk, bro, it was just a trap 6-7 years ago. Every time I look out the window, I'm so mad. Like this whole, they was warring over here, G. Now it's the most affluent spot on earth. And I feel as though I should own something because I was, you know what I mean? We was out here, G. You know what I mean? Now,
what Jay-Z say?
Bro, this is the quickest turn up ever over here, G.
I didn't know where I was. I'm like, where you have me? I've been all around Chicago. What is this place? And you were like, bro. I'm like, this is Cabrini Greens?
Bro, you knew it was up, bro. You knew it was up when Alex from Geneva Seal took me out there. Bro, we was outside 11:30 at night walking for like 8 blocks. And like legit, I'm like, damn, if Alex is, he's like, bro, everybody moving over here. This is a new Gold Coast. But like, it's the quickest come up ever, G. Like literally, you would, fuck it, man. I'm over it.
I couldn't believe it. It's like Jay-Z said, I could have got a place in Dumbo for $2 or $3 million. It's worth 30, 40 now. He said, guess how I'm feeling.
Dumbo.
Yeah.
Man, he was tweaking. He was right by the water. I don't know what he thought.
Well, I mean, it's a bunch of spots over there by the water. Coney Island is on the water. It's a beach.
I thought the value was going to go up after he got game. Straight up.
And so hopefully you got some good feedback, got some good insight on, as you continue listening in, week out, Friday, money moves, expertise. There's a lot of good information out there. Just being smarter, learning from the mistakes we made when we were younger. We were once young and we always said, oh, shut up, you old dude. But it makes a huge difference. And so hopefully you're listening, tuning in, and putting it into action.
Point Forward.
Well, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Point Forward. Don't forget to follow Point Forward on all social media and subscribe to the show wherever you listen to your podcasts. We appreciate you listening. See you next week.